Hi, it's Dr. Naisha Cherry, your health and wellness educator, your yoga instructor, and your fitness instructor, here today to talk to you about intermittent fasting. So before we get started, I just want to remind you to please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Please make sure you're sharing it, that you're commenting, let me know things you want to hear, let me know what resonated with you in this video, and subscribe if this kind of information is something you'd like to hear about. So, moving forward, once again, I'm Dr. Naisha Cherry. So today I want to talk to you about intermittent fasting. So today's video is just going to be a focus on what it is. I'll get to the benefits and the mistakes you can make during intermittent fasting on a later video. So today's focus is what is intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting is basically when you alternate between cycles of eating and not eating during various time periods. So when you're eating, you can eat whatever you want during that time period. Of course, I would suggest that it's something that's healthy. But when you're not eating, you can have things like water, you can have coffee, you can have tea, or any non-caloric beverage. So when I say coffee, for example, or tea, that means without sweetener, without any creamer, just regular plain coffee, regular plain tea. Non-caloric beverages, right now I can't think of any, but there are some out there. I just don't necessarily drink them. So yes, so anything that's non-caloric you can have during your intermittent fasting time period. So with intermittent fasting, you can also take supplements if they do not have any calories in them. So it's really, plain and simple: water, tea, coffee, anything that does not have calories that you are drinking. And people may think, I can't intermittent fast. I can't fast, period. And, I used to feel the same way. But I learned differently. So for one, when you're sleeping, that 8 hours or however many hours you're sleeping, that's part of your fast. Whew! That makes life so much easier. When I learned that, I was like, yes! Because at first I was doing it wrong. I was like, okay, so my fast starts when I wake up and da-da-da-da-da, and that was not the right way. So knowing that your fasting actually occurs when you're sleeping makes life a lot easier, especially if you're sleeping 8 hours. That's probably half your fast, if not more. So that's awesome. Also, with intermittent fasting or fasting in general, keep in mind this has been going on for years. People have been fasting for as long as I can remember, for as long as forever in history. Churches do fasting. At the beginning of the year, a lot of times they do the Daniel fast, So fasting is something that happens, and it's something that's normal and natural, and our bodies can handle it. As a matter of fact, our bodies crave it. So keep that in mind as well. Like I said before, I didn't think I could do it. And so I started off small with a 5-2 fast, which means I had 5 days of, eating regularly. And then I had 2 days of fasting. And so on my 2 days that I fasted, which were separated, I would fast most of the day and just eat dinner that night and then go into my regular day the next day. We also have options like 12-12, which means 12 hours of fasting, 12 hours of an eating window. Keeping in mind, in your eating window, you're not eating the entire time. You're eating like normal. So in that 12-12, the 12 hours of fasting, 8 hours of it, or however long you slept, is part of your fast. And then the rest of it is when you wake up, or either right before you go to bed, whichever way you decide to do it. Also, you have 16-8 as an option. That means 16 hours of fasting and 8 hours of an eating window. So once again, if you decided to have your 16-8 as an option, 8 hours of that, if you sleep for 8 hours, is part of your fasting window. So then you want to have 8 more hours to work with. So it could be 4 before bed, 4 when you wake up. And then you eat for those 8 hours that's after that. Another option is 18-6. That's where I am right now. So I went from 5-2, I think I skipped 12-12 and went to 16 hours of fasting and 8 hour window. And now I'm at an 18 hours of fasting and a 6 hour eating window. And what you've learned and find is that the more you're fasting, the less food you actually need. Our bodies do not need that much food. We're just so used to overeating, especially here in the U.S. And so our bodies don't even need all of those extra calories, extra everything. So yes, so now I'm at 18.6. But some people go even more with 20 hours of fasting and 4 hours of an eating window. I have done that. It's been more an unintentional situation where I was actually working and didn't feel the need to eat until 20 hours had passed. And I was like, oh, I'm feeling a little hungry now. My stomach's growling. Let me go eat. But for the most part, I do 18.6, and I'm very comfortable with an 18.6 fasting window. So if intermittent fasting is something that you want to try, give it a shot. Do like I did. Start with 5-2. You only have 2 days a week when you're fasting. And then maybe move on to 12 hours fasting, 12 hours eating. And then move, just transition, play around with the different times. There is no exact right or wrong way to do it, except to make sure that when you are fasting, that's what you're doing. That you're only drinking water, coffee, tea, or anything with any beverage without calories. So yes, that's the only thing you need to make sure, because you want to do a clean fast. So a clean fast means you're not adding any sugars, you're not adding any extra calories anywhere. So that's the only thing I would say. So remember, if you like what I'm telling you, please like my video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure that you are sharing it with others, commenting below what you want to hear, and subscribing. That's super important. And also, do not forget that I have a Facebook group that you can be a part of. And the link is in the comments, especially if you're a woman. It's only for women, guys. Sorry. But yes, feel free to join us to continue to be healthy. And I'll have continuing videos on intermittent fasting coming up, so stay tuned. Subscribe so you can get those notifications. I have one talking about, like I said before, what are some mistakes you can do during intermittent fasting, and also what are some benefits of intermittent fasting. So those are coming up. Be on the lookout. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye.